Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot.
देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi taupa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
हम इंग्लिश लंबासा में रहता है तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In this bulletin, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama opens new plaza in Navo Nandi. Major disruptions to water supplies in Suva. And pine resin exports thrive in the north. Good evening and welcome to FPC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. A company that started off as a single store in Nandi more than 20 years ago has today grown into a thriving business with 6 outlets in the west. While opening the latest venture, the Paper Power Plaza in Navo last night, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama said the business is a vote of confidence in Nandi as well as the Fijian economy. Akosita Tale reports.
There was cause for celebration for the 20 employees of Paper Power as well as their management and members of the business and Navo community. The company has grown over 2 decades and its future is looking bright.
In fact, the serious investors aren't waiting for the general election to take place. If they haven't already done so, they are investing now because they are convinced that things will only get better and they will ride away for prosperity to and beyond the election. Of course, it will help if the right political party wins government.
The revised forecast growth has been set at 3.6% this year, and there is an expectation of more confidence, demand for services, new investments and job creation in 2014 and beyond.
My government regards the private sector as a vital partner in national development and the provision of better living standards for all Fijians. So I would like to thank our partner, Paper Power, for the investment that it has made in this new head office and warehouse in Nandi, and the jobs it is generating for our people.
The government believes there will be more local businesses like this one investing in the country in the near future to create more employment and raise living standards of Fijians. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
A 41-year-old taxi driver is dead after a horse jumped onto his taxi at Narewa in Nandi last night. The driver suffered internal injuries when the taxi and the horse landed in a drain. The driver was pronounced dead on arrival at the Nandi hospital. The deceased from Butwalevu was returning from Denarau when the accident occurred. The horse was also killed by the impact of the accident. The export of pine resin is a new form of business in the country. The company behind the export of pine resin is Callison Pacific Pine Chemicals, a local subsidiary of the parent company IP Callison in the US. Apisalamedoka reports.
Villagers hired by Callison Pacific Pine Chemicals have been working in pine forests like this for the past year. The task involved tapping the pine trees to get the gum.
We collect the crude gums from the tree and pack it back at our base. From there, we send it to Lotoka, then abroad. We fill 80 44-gallon drums of crude gum in a container.
When distilled, the crude gum will produce 2 byproducts: gum resin, which is used for adhesives, glue, sellotape, printing ink, tires, rubbers and more. The second is gum turpentine, which is used for paint, fragrance, detergent and more. So far, the company have tapped more than 850,000 pine trees and have exported over 200 tons of pine resin to France. After a success trial to tap pine resin or crude gum, the company signed an MOU with Fiji Pine Limited to have access to all its forests in the 6 pine stations in Nambo, Nandi, Lololo, Ra, Mba, Maduata and Mboa. Ndike says they now have over 100 employees working in the north.
Pine trees are normally harvested after 15 to 20 years. Landowners then receive their payments.
With the work carried out by Kelson Pacific, landowners are receiving payments from 8 years, making the harvesting period a bonus payment.
We are working with Fiji Pine. They assign us the forest that we work on. We pay fees to Fiji Pine and to the landowners. This work has really helped the landowners as they start receiving payments after 8 years from each pine tree till it is harvested. Before, they wait 15 to 20 years to get their pine forest harvested. Then they receive the full payment of their pine.
The company has also established mint farm trials at Nadodo Levu and Cornivia. Once the trial is successful, large mint farming will also be introduced in Fiji. Apisolome Doka, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, Wurindongolo families settle into their new village.
Nambula FM rekrake tale taki.
Gonga elambasa Mbula FM nambando ena sere.
Ndo tale tak na borong ena Mbula FM nambando ena sere su.
Kau buat juga rekraki au rebot juga nistima au ndo tale tak na borong ena Mbula.
Bola bina Fiji Mbula FM nambando wa esenga toka.
Bola bina era roga Mbula FM nambando atikoga.
Bula FM nambando ena sere.
Welcome back to FPC News. 95,000 people in the Greater Suva area will be without water for the next 2 days. The Water Authority of Fiji has identified a major leak in a pipe that feeds the Tamavua treatment plant. Edwin Nunn reports this leak has caused the Tamavua pump to operate at only 44% capacity.
The Waimanu water pump has been shut down to allow the Water Authority to dig up 50-roll pipes and plug off a leak.
There is a factory in Flagstaff, Durek, Domain, Apata Mavua, Namandi Heights, Apata Dirua, Sakova, Besari, Lami Delnavesi, Tamavuiwai, Wailoku, and Lower Wailoku. All areas of Tongalebu, Suva City, Domain, Ratusukuna Road, Monikau, and some parts of Rewanga.
Engineers have started repairs at the site, but it will take time.
Two pump station, Waila and at Waimanu near ACS. And when those two affected, whole of Suva City and whole of the Suvarnasori corridor will be affected. So again, I repeat, as of this time, the Tamavua system is really stretched and it's going down, like I said, to 44% production capacity, which is really going to inconvenience a lot of people. And it started already. We are organizing with our customer services the water cutting. Please do contact us.
This is the current level at the catchment area in Wailoku. Lack of rain has compounded the problem of water supply to affected areas.
We've had this dry spell for almost 2 months now. Rain occasionally. Hopefully the weatherman is saying we'll expect some wet weather soon, and that should assist us in filling this thing up.
Water trucks will be out supplying affected areas, but with 95,000 people to cater for, many Fijians can expect delays.
Good morning.
The water cutting schedule has commenced. It's ongoing, as you know. We're stretched. The reality of the situation is that we're supplying 25,000 litres of water moving at any point in time. That's only 5,000 litre trucks. But at this point in time, we're doing all that we can to increase our capacity to reach the 95,000 customers, and we're pleading with the public to be mindful that that's the reality. These 25,000 litres have to come back, refill, and keep moving. Those are the constraints we're working on.
At Waimanu River, we have two pumps. One is at Waila, and one is at two pump station, Waila and at Waimanu near ACS. And when those two are affected, whole of Suva City and whole of the Suvarnasori corridor will be affected.
Repairs are complete. The Water Authority will need up to 24 hours to fill its reservoirs and resume supply. Those in affected areas are advised to store water and to use it wisely. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
An investigation has begun into the circumstances surrounding the death of a 3-year-old girl in Burimbasanga, Rewa. The body of the toddler was found floating in a creek by her mother yesterday afternoon. Attempts to revive the toddler were unsuccessful. She was then taken to Waimbokasi Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. 2 women who were attacked by a man wielding a cane knife remain admitted at the ICU ward at CWM Hospital in Suva. The women were with the accused and another man who died in the knifing incident at Nepani outside Suva early Friday morning. Police spokesperson Inspector Atunaisa Sokomori says the victim died of multiple slash injuries. The accused has been charged with 1 count of murder. Owner of Hideaway Resort, the Fiji Teachers Union, has started work on a second resort in Vunda Lautoka. The groundbreaking ceremony was held yesterday with the union showing great confidence in the future of the tourism industry. Akusita Tale has more.
With increasing occupancy rate at Fiji Hideaway Resort in Singatoka, the Fiji Teachers Union has embarked on a 5-year project in Vunda Lautoka. It's a $4 million project with 18 bures, targeting the wedding and honeymoon markets.
We have a very strong marketing strategy. We have our niche market actually, and we are confident that we will do well.
This is the exact place where our first Fijian ancestors landed before they moved on to live on the hills. The credit union says this is a historical achievement for them.
This is indeed a very, very important venue for that reason. It's a historic place, and we intend to do a monument here for people to remember.
The resort will hire about 30 people from Vunda, while neighboring farms will supply food and vegetables.
Ravanui Vunda is blessed to have one of the first and greatest investment done by you, the Fiji Teachers Union, and we are all glad.
We will begin with at least 25 to 30 workers, employees, and over the years, once we've completed, we should have 150 to 200 people working here, and that will be people from here, not from anywhere else.
The FTU bought Hideaway Resort in the Coral Coast in 2008. The teacher union believes returns from these tourism investments will benefit its members. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
The people of Vunindongolo village in Vanuatu are slowly getting used to their new village after having to leave their homes due to the effects of climate change. For the 150 people of the village, the move was a necessity, and memories of their old home still bring tears to some. Apisalamadaka visited Vunindongolo village and filed this story.
This is the new Vunindongolo village, located miles away from the sea. There is no danger of coastal flooding during heavy rain or stormy weather. The last family left the old village site near the ocean only 2 weeks ago.
The thought on relocating to a new village was not from us. It was from our elders since 1956. We are just carried on from what our elders had worked on for a very long time. It is said it has finally happened. We are no longer with those that started this journey.
The villagers are glad to have a new place to call home, but the move hasn't been easy.
This is the place where the people of Vunindongolo have spent their whole life. The effects of climate change have forced the Vunonandawa to leave the village they say will always be part of their life.
Leaving our old village was not that easy. Even though we entered our new village, there are memories that we'll never forget. We have left behind our elders that were buried here. Today we still come down to our old village, sit down at our old homes and think back during the days when we were kids, listening to our elders, meeting and discussing about relocating.
It's a new environment which the people of Vunindongolo are still getting used to. However, for a community that's relied on the ocean for its source of food for decades, the only distance from the shore is becoming a problem.
As a mother, we are happy we are now relocated, safe from the effects of climate change. But a problem that we are facing is meal to be put on the table. We have to walk for an hour and a half to reach the sea. Many of the times I feel bad not to provide a proper meal for my family. I think it is because of the new environment. We hope we will get used to it sometime soon.
We have set the date, January 16. Annually on this day, we have a memorial church service followed by a feast, just to mark the day when we started leaving our old village for the new.
Villagers have planted around 4,000 pineapples and have 8 fish ponds as an investment program. The beginnings of a safer, more and stable community. Apisalome Dhoka, FBC News.
Coming up in sports news, Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan looks to a strong finish in the Arabi World Series. And lone female drag racer a draw card at drag racing event in Pacific Harbour.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We like Today FM in Labasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Sabah.
I love today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Labasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome to FPC Sports. Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan is targeting a strong finish in the current Arabi World Series. The side has faced some setbacks during the season, which the Englishman acknowledges is all part of the learning process. Chalendau Dhaka has more.
4 tournaments remain in the current IRB World Series, and with Fiji slightly lagging behind leaders New Zealand and South Africa, Ben Ryan is making sure the boys do not lose sight of the bigger picture.
It's fundamentals. It's making sure that we keep working hard on our defence. It's really improving. I think it's going well, but it's something you got to stay on top of, and then just everything else. So it's that stage where you just want to keep improving on all levels.
Ryan is known to select players strictly on form, and the upcoming Fiji Bidder Maris Sevens will give him an opportunity to do that.
It's a little bit close to Tokyo. Maybe a week earlier would have been good, but it provides a really good platform for our boys to go have some hard competition. Our current squad players always have targets on their back when they play in domestic competitions, and there'll be boys I know that will be itching to play, and they understand. They know that I'm being honest with them when I'm saying I'll pick on form, and they've seen me do that.
3 weeks remain until the Tokyo Sevens, ample time for the extended squad to prove their worth in the final 12-member team. Chalendau Dhaka, FBC Sports.
By slowly clawing their way towards the top of the Fiji Sun Skipatuna National Football League after an impressive 6-2 victory over Lautoka this afternoon. The men in black have the advantage of 2 games yet to play. In other games today, Navua defeated Nandronga 2-1. In the Premier Division, Raki Raki defeated Vatukola 2-0, while Tailevu Neta Siri beat Lami 3-0. The Nasinu vs Northland Tailevu match that was to be held at Gatwood Park was called off due to unfavourable weather. Meanwhile, Suva maintains their winning streak in the Fiji Sun Skipatuna National Football League after defeating Nandi 1-0 at Prince Charles Park in Nandi yesterday. Waisake and Navuningasau scored the lone goal in the first half. Tempers started to flare in the second spell. This saw both teams reduced to 10 men each. Napoleoni Gasevakatini was given the marching orders for a second foul on Navuningasau before Suva's Sakaraya Naisua followed suit in the 68th minute. The Fiji Car Club hosted its first drag racing event of the year at the Taunovo airstrip in Pacific Harbour. The lone female driver, Abha Prasad, was a draw card for onlookers as she looked to prove that women are also able to put pedal to the metal. Chalendau Dhaka reports.
Abha Prasad was a welcome addition to the Fiji Car Club's drag race event in Deomba this afternoon. She looked like a professional, although it was her first time to compete in such a competition.
We're trying to get more females coming in, and it's just trying to, so it's not just a male sport, it's also for the females as well. So it's so much fun coming in here, and just bring your family in as well, and I think it'll be it's a great family event.
Prasad has now set a standard and opens the racetrack for more females to join.
We used to have lady drivers before in the back days, about 4 or 5 years back. Today our first lady driver took part, and she's doing well. She's a rookie, and as she goes, and she will improve her timing.
35 drivers turned up to burn some rubber on the Taunovo airstrip, and officials are hoping this number will increase as the season progresses. Chalendau Dhaka, FBC Sports.
Looks like all major centres experienced showers and thunderstorms today, yet the heat remained the same, with temperatures for today averaging at 30 degrees in most places. A trough of low pressure lies south of the Solomons. The trough of low pressure extends from Solomons to Vanuatu to the southwest of Fiji. Meanwhile, another trough of low pressure lies south of Nauru and extends over Fiji. Suva, Ba, Savu and Lambasa hit an even 32 degrees on the temperature chart, while Nadi and Lautoka hit 31 degrees. The weather pattern is expected to be the same tomorrow for Fiji. Showers and thunderstorms will result due to the low pressure system, so be prepared with umbrellas and raincoats. The further outlook: occasional rain, heavy at times and few thunderstorms, becoming frequent later in the day. Strong northerly winds with average speeds up to 45 km an hour and gusts to 80 km an hour over Yasawa and Mamanuca Group, western half of Viti Levu and Vanuatu, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands. North to northeast winds 20 to 25 knots over Kandavu and Vatuira passages and over northern Vanuatu. The main points again: major disruptions to water supplies are expected in Suva for the next 48 hours. A 3-year-old child drowns in a creek in Rewa, and 2 women remain in the ICU ward in hospital from wounds they received in a knifing incident on Friday. On to the poll question. This week we ask, is there a need to review bank and finance sector fees and charges? Visit our FPC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. A kind reminder that the weather may take a turn for the worse, so do make the necessary preparations. That was news for tonight. I'll see you again next weekend. Good evening.
Gold FM is #1 here in Singatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Batu Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.